sure looks like the ban list forgot something. Oh well. What's going on, you guys? Slim here, back with another deck profile for you guys, and what I have for you is what is arguably gonna be the best deck of the format. Is not even close. Virtual World is completely unscathed. True King of all calamities is still at 3. It's crazy. This deck can make 2 of them in a turn. It's just, it's not fair. But as always, your boys got you with that hot deck profile. Post our ban list. As always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links in the description. As always, if you yourself want to build this deck, and as always, I highly suggest you do, because this is going to be one of, if not the best decks of the format. Please use my TCG player link in the description below. A portion of what you spend goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, if you want to further support the channel, consider joining my Patreon. Link in the description. 4 different tiers, nothing over $10. A lot of awesome extra rewards that are over there, including side decks and other awesome content. With all that out of the way, you guys, how could I not profile this deck with the ban list? Because guess what? Nothing changed. They didn't hit calamities. Nothing changed. This deck is completely unscathed. It's going to be one of the best decks of the format, if not the best, and it's crazy what this deck is going to do in the format. As always, I'm going to show you guys the changes I've made from the last video. You guys know I was playing the hand loop. I actually dropped the hand loop, but I will discuss that when I get to the extra deck as well as the card selection. But the main deck is pretty much the same. We'll get through the main deck real quick and then just talk about, you know, the changes to the extra deck, things that you can include or choose not to include, as well as going over some budget options for those of you that can't afford the really expensive cards. As always, that's what you guys wanted, so we'll get into it. I'll run through the Virtual World monsters as normal. I'll explain a little bit just in case this is your first time seeing the deck profile over on the channel and you're not familiar with the cards. I'll just explain them all to you. But of course, we max it on everything. 3 copies of Lulu. This is your Stratos of the deck. 3 copies of Laulau. This is your Monster Reborn of the deck. 3 copies of Gigi. This is your Scarm from the graveyard effect. And 3 copies of Lily, which is your Foolish Burial from the deck. They all send the opposite card that you target to the graveyard, as well as activating those effects I said. And then your last card, which doesn't have the Foolish effect, but this card is not only a normal summon, but if a level 3 is summoned or special summoned, you can special summon it from the graveyard as a tuner. When it's banished, it can recycle a banished Virtual World card, whether it's banished face down or face up. So these cards are insane. You literally are not going to cut any of these. I do not agree with any list that would cut Nian Nian even to 2. Like I said in previous profiles, if this can be your normal summon, this plus a Virtual World monster can help you start combo. The weakness to this deck is that you need to have Virtual World cards on board. So even starting with a normal summon of a Lulu, of a Nian Nian, or even a Gigi can get you started, because that's what you need in order to play the game. So for that reason, we max out on all of them, and they are all insane for that reason. They're all starters. Also to mention, Nian Nian and Lulu are emergency teleport targets, so that's crazy. There's a reason why that card didn't come to 2, even though we thought maybe it will in our prediction. Man, were we wrong. Anyways, on to the rest of the Virtual World cards. Standard stuff. Triple copies of Kowloon, triple copies of Qinglong, and triple copies of the Chuchi. I still don't know what it is. Someone in the comments, please tell me how you say this name so I can stop guessing each time. Maybe I'm close, maybe I'm not, but please let me know. Anyways, this card is insane. The capital, the Qinglong, the Kowloon, this literally gets your Qinglong or your Chuch on the board. You always are usually going for the trap. Setting up the trap is how you play. Having the trap up, it's a Dryden effect. It's crazy. Recycles your Virtual World cards. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck. You banish it to search a Virtual World monster. You also discard from your hand when you do that. This card is just crazy what it can do in the graveyard, as well as its effect on the board. Being able to banish and negate face-up cards is fantastic. So I really, really like that about these cards. You max out on everything. I know some lists do play 2 copies of the trap, and you can argue for it or not. The reason why I max out is just because it do play Desires. I definitely don't want to banish any copies of this. I know you can recycle it with Nian Nian and other cards, but it's better to just have the card in your deck. Even if you hard draw it, you could still set it up with your VFD or whatever your ending board is. So as always, we maxed out on all the Virtual World cards. Hand trap stayed exactly the same as always. The triple Ash, and then the best hand trap probably in the game right now. It always goes back and forth, but in this deck, I think this card really shines. The reason why Gamma is so powerful is because all the Virtual World monsters activate in hand, so therefore you reveal, your opponent tries to Ash or do anything, you chain Gamma, you get this on the board. you are then able to, you know, continue your plays. The beauty of this card is that this is a level 6, and that does come up when you're doing your synchro plays. You can also play Omega in the extra deck if you choose, to give you another way to rip a card out of your opponent's hand. It's fantastic. I think it's easily the best hand trap of the format, and probably the best hand trap you can play in this game, and Ash is just the most generic. As always, nothing's changed there. On to now just the power spells. Of course, triple Desires and triple Tactic Talents. These cards are just both insane in the deck. Desires is obvious. You literally, you literally just banish whatever, and it doesn't matter. You need that +1. You max out on everything, so it's rare. You'll banish 3 copies of anything. Also, you can recycle cards with Nian Yan, so this card is amazing. Triple Tactic Talents. I mean, this card is insane in this format. I've said it every single profile. This is one of the best cards in the game. You guys should have picked this card up while it was cheap. You guys are wondering what the budget option would be for this. The budget option for this would be Foolish Burial Goods, for anyone that's wondering. That's probably one of the best options you could have. The reason I say that is because it will let you put your Qinglong in the grave to do some combos. You can even, if you really want to go a step further, play the Metapose Fusion as well. I'm not a fan of that, but it does give you an option in the deck if you weren't sure what to replace this expensive card with. You can also play other cards in the main deck if you choose. More hand traps. This could be 3 Nibiru or 3 of any other hand trap if you're not able to afford talents. I just wanted to give you guys the budget options as always. And then the last of the deck is the 3 power spells I do play, which is the Teleport, the Reborn, and the Call by the Grave. So I still play these because I still believe in all of them. Obviously, Teleport is obvious. You have so many targets. Reborn just helps you keep going when you get hand trapped or when cards in the grave. It helps you continue your plays. I just like the extension that it provides. And then Call by the Grave is just so that my plays go off. I can still, you know, if I get hand trapped, I can Call by the Grave and keep going. It's also a good defensive card going first or second. Going first, you can also set it up as basically a trap. The opponent does something, you can Call by the Grave it as well. So it's very strong. And I still believe, like I said, in Monster Reborn, I like the extra extension, the extra monster. Can help you go further with the deck and raise the ceiling of this already crazy deck. But as always, that is the main deck, you guys. Hasn't changed. It's 40 cards. Honestly, this list has been the most consistent list I've been able to put forward so far. It's not bogged down with a bunch of hand traps and stuff, so I'm able to just, you know, see the cards I need and keep playing, and I really, really like it. So that is the main deck. The extra deck is where it's changed, but we'll get into it. Of course, for our synchros, we have the one Shen Shen. This is your Macrocosmos. Comes back every turn by banishing virtual world monsters. Your Crocosaurus to draw a card, it's level 9. Your Vermilion Mech to pop cards, it's level 9. We only play 1 Cloud Castle because I did cut the hand loop. I'll talk about that at the end of the extra deck. That's it for my 9s. Those are just all the generic base 9s. For the 6s, I have the Charge Warrior, the Coral Dragon, and I decided, since I cut the hand loop cards, to put back the Juju. This card's really good. Very good against Zoo. If it has, what do you call it? If it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, well, it has, well, there are 2 or more monsters with the same original type and attribute, but different, but different names. This way, you can survive against Dryad, against anything that would destroy you. This card's very, very strong. Also, it's very important to play a virtual world named synchro in the extra deck, so that when, depending on the grind game, depending on what situation you are in the game, you still have a monster on board to activate your virtual world monsters. I put this back, like I said, after I didn't play the hand loop, so I really like it. It's just a really good generic 6 for this deck, so I really like it. Of course, yo, they forgot something on the ban list for sure. Why is this card still around? But hey, yeah, name of the game, make True King of all calamities, have the trap card. Say go, calamities go burr, you win. Yeah, I know this card can be outed. It's not the craziest card to out, but this card is pretty insane. I think they made a mistake. I think this card should be at 1 or banned, but you know, we can play it. I'm gonna play it. There's no way to deny. This is True King of all calamities turbo, and this is exactly what this card does. So this card is broken. We still play Zeus because it comes up. This card's crazy. Along with it, we play the Fan, and then I chose to play the M7. The reason why is I still don't have my Utopia of the Lightning, but I'm going to put one right there. Play that card. That card is way better than this. I just didn't get it. I had every card for the profile, so I was like, you know what? We'll put something in its place. But you should definitely be playing Utopia Beyond. What am I saying? Utopia of the Lightning. Utopia Beyond. Definitely play that card. That card is insane. It doesn't target. It blankets a whole board. Then you just attack with everything for game. M7 is very strong, though. If you don't have Beyond, it gives you... Or you can even play it over Fan if you want. Again, I just wanted the virtual world name. And then, you know, you bounce a card, and then you attack with anything, and then you put Zeus on it, and it's crazy. And then you can even go as far as to play the Gaia Charger, and then this just pierces, and it's insane. You put Zeus over it, and it's crazy. That is it for my like rank 6s and the Gaia. And then last new addition to the deck is I am trying number 75. I've seen some lists play this. I had tried this out before. This is a way to play around Nibiru instead of playing the Crystal Wing and the Ultimate Dazoken. Yeah, this card is just easier to make. You know, you have your 3s, you just make this, you can negate that, and it's great. So it helps you play around Nibiru. It does come up, so I really do like it. And then, of course, the Breaks Orchid is the most generic 3. Last thing I'm going to say before I go, so I cut the hand loop. What was in the hand loop was these 3 cards. If you want to play them, you can cut whatever cards you want. I just chose to cut it because I feel that this is a little bit of a more gimmicky win more condition to the deck, and I feel that since we still have Calamities, we should focus on what makes the deck good. If Calamities does get touched on our next list, and hopefully it does because it needs to, you can then put in the hand loop and it is effective. But again, if you guys do want to play it, by all means play it. I've showed the combo and I've shown the deck in a previous video, so definitely just check that out. I'll probably have it up here in one of the cards for you guys to check out. Definitely check that out if you do want to play the hand loop. But that is the deck, you guys. My updated virtual world deck for this current format. I think this deck is absolutely insane. I think it's easily going to be it's probably going to be the best deck of the format. Let's just cut the crap. Like, this card is so stupid. I can't believe they left Calamities alone. Like, that's nuts. But the deck overall is very strong. I really like it. I think it's going to do a lot of damage this format, and we're definitely going to see in the LCS how powerful this deck is. But I truly believe in it. I think you guys should definitely try it out. If you guys enjoy the deck profile, smash that like button. Let's get over 100+ likes on this deck. We're going to keep updating it as we go. I'm a huge fan of this deck as well as many other decks, but I definitely want to keep testing with this more and seeing just how far we can go with this deck, because there's a lot of things you can do besides True Calamities Turbo. But for now, that's how you win the game, and it's going to be probably the best deck of the format. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.